Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Carmel Mealand, Regional Sales Manager, and I'm so very excited to welcome you to the wrap-up of our National Conference Workshops. Today, I know you are excited to hear all about this very hot topic, and we are going to be focusing on onboarding new consultants. So our speaker today is a very special leader. She's from Orlando, Florida, and she's been in Norwex for 6 years. She actually started her business while in Connecticut, and she built a very strong team in the New England area. But in the last 2 years, she relocated with her husband, Jeff, and her 4 children to Florida, where she has built a wonderful business there as well. And so she is a strong, driven leader who most recently, along with her team, One Dream, they promoted to Senior Vice President Sales Leader Team. And so we are so excited to welcome your speaker for today. Give it up for Krista Sickles.
All right. Hi, everyone, and thank you, Carmel. So thank you for joining us. Like Carmel said, I've been with Norwex for 6.5 years now. And in the last 6.5 years, I've seen a lot of changes, and I've done a lot of different things. I definitely don't have all the answers, but I've definitely learned a few things along the way. So when I started Norwex until March of this year, I actually did 95% of my business in-home demos. And we all know things have been different since March. And so since then, I've been doing 95% of my demos on Facebook, which is a whole new world to me. But I'm going to focus most of our onboarding conversation around an online business. And I really don't think there's a lot of differences with onboarding between a virtual and an in-home business. So whatever you're doing, I hope you can apply some of this. And I want to break our onboarding into 5 important key areas. And that's where we're going to spend most of our time, is kind of digging into those 5 areas. But before we go too deep into what Norwex, into those 5 areas, let's talk about some of the new exciting announcements from Norwex. So let's check this out. How excited are you guys about the new announcement from Norwex? Your new team members can earn their kit for free by submitting $1,000 in sales in 30 days. That's super exciting. And in case you missed the announcement, you can still submit your $2,000 in sales in 90 days and earn your kit for free. But now your new consultants have the team member, or have the option. And our goal is going to be to focus all of our onboarding on hitting that $1,000 in sales in 30 days. So that's going to be our focus today as well. And also, when your new team member submits $400 in sales in their first 15 days, you'll see that they're going to earn a package of free products from Norwex as well. And they're going to want this package of free products so they can try more Norwex goodies and really fall in love even more with Norwex and our products. Also, when a new consultant hits that $400 in 15 days, you're going to earn a $50 shopping spree for helping them get off to a strong start. So it's really a win-win to help them get in and get going. And not to mention, you're working towards that trip this year, right? So when they hit their $400 in 15 days, they're going to count as an eligible new team member for your trip too. So there's a shopping spree, free products for them, and it's going to work towards your trip. And lastly, the new Choice Rewards program, when that new team member submits their $400 in sales in 15 days, you're going to get 150 points for the Choice Rewards program. So we want to get our new team members in and get them going strong. So strong onboarding does not have to be a difficult task. It's really teaching a new team member to do what you do best, and that is party. So when new consultants get in the door and they get partying right away, they're going to earn money. And money in their pocket is going to equal excitement. So not only are they going to want to party more, but they're going to want to share the business with other potential new team members as well. So let's check out these 5 key areas of focus. So the first one is going to be, we're going to want to help new team members set goals. We're going to want to be a role model for them. We're going to want to offer opportunities to plug them in and get them going right away. We want to lean into the tools that Norwex has already provided us. We don't need to reinvent the wheel when onboarding. And then we want to stay in contact with our new team members and build relationships. So why do we want to set expectations and help new team members set goals? Okay, so according to the Business News Daily, setting new employee expectations can eliminate or reduce confusion and increase the chances of employees being successful in achieving the goals set with them. Okay, employees who achieve their goals enhance the success of an entire organization. Also, according to a study done by the Gallup, nearly half of all U.S. employees don't know what's expected of them in a new job. The study's authors believe that employees are less engaged at work when they do not have a clear understanding of what's required of them. Okay, so new team members are not our employees, but Norwex is a new job for them, okay? And our job is to help reduce confusion and increase the chance of success by helping them set goals so they can get off to that strong start. How are we going to help new team members set goals? My sponsor, Deanna Cantola, early on taught me that the answer is in the question, okay? So we're going to help them set goals by asking them questions. The first question you could consider asking is, how much money are you looking to make with Norwex, okay? All consultants earn 35% of their personal retail sales. So an example is you can tell them, you know, when you sell $2,000 of Norwex products, you're going to earn $700. So if you go and have a $500 Norwex party, you multiply that by 35%, you're going to earn $175. The more parties you do, the more money you're going to make. Another question you can consider asking is, how many parties a month would be doable for your schedule? And do you prefer doing in-person or virtual demos? Now, the reason asking them how many parties a month is doable for their schedule, kind of asking them after the income question, is because if they want to make $20,000 a month, but they only want to do one party a month, those two don't necessarily equal up. So we need to be able to match our goals to our reality and our expectations as well. You can also ask them, how do you feel about goals for leadership, right? We're looking for more people who'd like to lead a team to help spread our mission. So how do you feel about setting some goals that's going to help you move into our leadership team? And probably one of the most important questions, in my opinion, is what drew you to the Norwex business opportunity first? Okay, so if they came into Norwex looking to make money, or was it the mission, or was it they wanted free products, or do they want to earn a trip? Okay, so the reason they came into Norwex is going to help drive their goals too. Okay, so a person who wants to make money versus a person who wants to spread the mission, our goals may look a little bit different. Okay, but you want to keep in mind what brought them to Norwex in the first place. How are we going to teach new team members to set goals? It's important when setting goals that you start small while still dreaming big. Okay, so by doing this, you know, your team member is going to have success along the way. So an example of this is, you know, you can set daily business goals. So today, reach out to 5 people and ask them to host a demo. Can you find 5 people to lend your dusting mitt to? Can you schedule those launch parties? We keep talking about launch parties. Today, your only thing is to actually put them on the calendar, or go to the resource website and read something. The reason this is important is someone's big goal may be to replace their full-time income with Norwex, but they've got to realize success along the way to that super big goal. So, you know, they can call you and say, hey, Krista, I just reached out to my 5 people today, and you can celebrate with them, and they're feeling that instant success, okay? All right, so our goal is going to be to help those new team members earn that kit for free in 30 days, okay? We're going to focus on that as the goal. We still have that $2,000 and 90-day option, and that's really great to have because sometimes life happens. Something comes up that your new team member didn't expect, but we're going to focus on that 30 days. And something important to remember is when a new team member signs on, talk to them before they join about those kit builder options because they do count towards that $1,000 goal. And I find when a new team member decides to invest in that kit builder option, they tend to start stronger as well, okay? And we want our new team members to write down their big goals and not only share them with you, but share them with their family, share them with whoever is going to support them in this business. When you share your goals, it creates accountability. So write down what's their income goal, what's their team building goal, what's their choice rewards program goal. And then again, the more you can break that really big goal down into smaller daily and monthly goals, the more victories they're going to have along the way. An example of taking that big goal and breaking it down is, let's say Susie joins your team. And Susie's big goal is to have 6 parties a month because that's probably going to help her meet her income goal, okay? So you're talking to Susie and she has the best images in the world, and she's made amazing videos, and she knows about every single product. But she has 0 parties on her calendar and her goal was 6 for the month. You're going to say, Susie, those are all great things, but let's take that goal of 6 parties a month and let's break it down. Let's reach out to 5 people a day until you have those 6 parties on your calendar, okay? And then you can talk to her about things like her contact list and how to find those 5 people a day. But if she, doesn't take that 6 parties a day and breaks it down, she's not going to feel that success and not feel like she's working towards that goal. Something else I would consider doing, and I'm not super digital, so some of you might be like, a notebook, I'm going to do this digitally, which is totally fine, is take a notebook and write a page for each new team member. On there, write down all the goals that they have shared with you. Write down dates if they shared dates with you. That way you can congratulate them when they have success. You can remind them of a goal date that's coming up, and you can help when they hit a roadblock, bring them back to it, right? So we all hit roadblocks along our Norwex journey. And I find that when they have when new team members have written down goals, it helps us get over the roadblocks, okay? So when they hit that roadblock, let's say Susie joined to pay for her daughter's dance lessons, okay? And dance lessons are $400 a month. So you and Susie worked through it, and she had decided she was going to do 3 parties a month. Now she's just hit a roadblock and she's feeling super defeated. Pull out that notebook and say, Susie, you joined to pay for dance lessons. We're going to get these 3 parties on your calendar for the month, okay? So having goals and knowing them is super important to keep encouraging and keep working with your team member along the way. All right, so remind your new team member of rewards along the way as well. So we have the new Choice Rewards program, which your new team member can be earning from day one. Also, when any team member hits team coordinator, they're gonna get a $100 bonus. So you wanna make sure that they're aware of that. And then they're gonna receive that continual paycheck after they hit TC. For spreading the mission. And, you might be thinking, well, that's great that this lady has team members who want to work right away. We all have people who join Norwex for an amazing discount on our products, right? Like that's something that happens. But we don't want a team of discount buyers, right? We want a team of people who want to spread our mission. So as their sponsor, I encourage you to encourage them to have one party. And hopefully through that one party, your new team member will quickly see that the income from one party is greater than a 35% discount, okay? So we all have those potential discount team members, but let's encourage them to have one party. And then lastly, when we set goals, let's celebrate the goals, okay? A lot of your new team members may not get the recognition that they deserve at home or in their current job, and so celebrate them. We have a team Facebook page, and I'll say, hey, Sue Smith submitted her $400 in 15 days, and she has a box of free products coming her way with a cute little image like you see here. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just make sure you're recognizing their goals and recognizing them publicly. All right, our key area of focus number 2 is going to be a role model, all right? If we overcomplicate things or make what we do look too hard, we're gonna have a hard time team building, right? No one's gonna wanna join our team if things look too hard. So before you can onboard, you need to be able to add team members, okay? So this starts at the party. Is your host coaching and your party easy to duplicate? Okay, we've got to be able to add team members to onboard. So think about this from day one of host coaching all the way through closing your party. 25% of your new team members are going to be host first. So your hosts are watching what you do, okay? And a couple things I think you can do through the party process that is being a role model that you want your new team members to do. The first thing is you're going to ask every single host to join your team. Okay. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to ask people when they purchase if they've ever considered the Norwex business opportunity. And then lastly, let's make sure that we're doing our customer care so that 222, you're checking in with people 2 weeks after or 2 days after they order, 2 weeks and 2 months after they receive their product. And if you're doing these three things, asking every host, asking your customers, and doing your customer care, then when your new team members join, they're going to jump in and start doing these things right away as well. Another question to ask yourself is, am I easy to duplicate? Okay, there are so many amazing resources out there, right? Facebook and other things, we've got groups, we can see so many different ideas from so many different successful Norwex consultants. But before jumping in and adapting a new idea, ask yourself, could a new consultant do what I am doing? Okay. If not, a potential new team member may not want to join your team. So make sure, examine every single thing you do. Can a new team member do what I'm doing? What they want to do what I am doing, right? So as you grow in your consultant journey with Norwex, you're going to start earning some more money and you're going to start earning some more free products. Make sure that you don't make things more difficult as you become more experienced with Norwex. Don't give away things that new team members may not have the resources to give away as well. The other thing to ask yourself is when you're doing a virtual party, are you quick to respond to every comment, every question, every post? Would someone watching that event want to become a consultant and have to quickly respond to every comment, every question, every post? You're being watched, okay? Can every consultant make awesome videos if you're using an awesome video software editor? Or your video is simple and easy to duplicate? Are your images simple and easy to duplicate, okay? So ask yourself, am I easy to duplicate? And then can a new team member take your example and pass it on to their new team members, right? So we want new team members not only to experience personal success, but we want them to desire to add new team members of their own. So remember, you need to have a lens of duplicatability. If a new team member could not do what you're doing, maybe you shouldn't be doing it with your new team member either, okay? And lastly, your new team member is going to take your lead. So what that means is you're role modeling through your personal business. So if I go out and party once a year, my new team member is going to think we just party once a year, okay? So what is your personal business saying to a new team member? What words are you saying to a new team member? If every time you talk to a new team member, you're tired, burnt out, overwhelmed, you don't have time for them, then they're going to be like, I don't want to work my business like she does. She's always tired and burnt out. And this was just something I'm trying to do on the side or part-time, right? So what are you saying to your team member? And I find that, we need to remind team members, our goal is to get Norwex into as many homes as possible. And when we do that, that's when we really see our income grow. So we all know that we make 35% off of our retail sales, right? So Dolores Van Bogart taught me this. And side note, pretty much every awesome thing you've learned from a leader has come from someone else. So you don't have to have all these amazing ideas to be successful. You just got to be able to learn from others. So she said to me, I don't remember where we were talking, but she said, when you post your top sales for your team, also post the commission from those sales. She goes, everyone knows we earn 35%, but not everyone does the math. And especially new team members, they may see you post your top sales for the month, and they may not see the income that can come with those sales as well. So, here's just a picture of something for June. We posted our top sales for our team. And next to the sales is the commission. And that makes a big difference for people to see that and think through it. Okay. All right. Key area of focus number 3. We want to offer plug-in opportunities for team members to really shadow us, okay? I always keep my virtual party calendar full, and when I did in-home parties, I kept my in-home party calendar full. But the great thing about doing that virtually is when you add a new team member, you then have a party that they can jump into instantly, and they can be a host and a consultant, and they can take sales and bookings, but they're watching your host coaching. So that's a great experience for a new team member. So you've got to keep your party calendar full. This is also why it's really, really important to ask every host before their party if they've ever considered consulting. So before someone's virtual party, just say, hey, you know, Catherine, I'm so excited to start adding guests to our event on Monday. Before we do that, I wanted to extend the offer that this Facebook demo could be the start of your Norwex business. So if you've ever considered consulting, I'd love to help you jumpstart your business by giving you this party. So just then you can have the conversation, okay? So ask every host before, and then let your new team members jump into a party of yours if they are so inclined. Something else I recommend doing, and again, I didn't do this before March, so I'm definitely not an expert, but I've seen the benefit it has, is to offer a monthly team Facebook party, okay? So we're hosting a team party on Facebook every month that a consultant can join. So this is really a great opportunity for new consultants, but also consultants who want to jump into Facebook and aren't sure how, or maybe you're less active consultants whose now's the time for them, okay? So this doesn't mean you have to reinvent the wheel, right? You just do the party you're already doing. We run the event, they're the host, they're the consultant, they get the sales and they get the bookings. But the reason you want to do this for your team, no matter the size, is it lets all team members observe your Facebook party, but it's also a great way for them to see your host coaching. And it gives new team members confidence that when they add a new team member, there's a party already on their calendar that they can add them to, right? So I add a new team member, I have no idea what I'm doing, I'll enter the team party as well, and we all get going right away. And if you have other team members you work with, you can share their responsibilities. You don't have to do this all on your own. You can do it with a team of 3 people or 300 party, or 300 people. One thing I started doing with this that I think is great is, you know, we run the Facebook event in a group, but I started making a Facebook group for just the consultants who are participating. And in there every day, I post the host coaching, excuse me, the same host coaching that I would send to a host for a real party, okay? This way, my consultant is truly seeing the host experience, but when she books a party of her own, she can access this group later and see, okay, what do I do on Monday for my host, okay? All right, other plug-in opportunities are gonna be monthly meetings, okay? So when I add new team members, one of the questions I get is, who's going to train me, right? Everyone's worried who's going to train them. And I'm like, me. But being able to offer support to a new team member helps them know that they are not alone. And so our team has a monthly team meeting on Facebook. When I can do meetings at home, again, I will be doing that as well. But Norwex provides you with an agenda. So if you're nervous, you're like, I have no idea how to do a team meeting. It's okay. Norwex will help you. But you don't have to do a team meeting if they're already provided for your team. Just make sure you're plugging your new team members into the resources that your team has available. Something else to consider with team meetings, and I give this credit to my leader, Deanna Cantola, is to have theme team meetings. So like in March, our team meeting was all about Facebook. In April, it was about Zoom. You could do one about host coaching. You could do one about bookings. You could set a different theme every month. And the great thing is if you do these in a Facebook group, it's a established training now you have to add team members to whenever. So, you know, I add Susie as a team member this month and she's like, hey, do you have any training on Zoom meetings? I go add her to that Facebook group meeting about Zoom meetings, and all the resources are there for her. And then monthly opportunity events. So again, I didn't do these virtual parties, but this really piggybacks off of that monthly Facebook party that we do as a team, okay? So at the end of the monthly team Facebook party, we talk about the business opportunity. And I just offer a Zoom call for anyone who has questions about the business. So I invite my new team members to come listen, and they can invite anyone who wants to learn more about the business. It's on Zoom, it's 30 minutes, just open Q&A, but your new team member is kind of borrowing your confidence in the business opportunity. They're hearing how you answer questions, and I just love that, you know, someone can be 3 days in the business and someone else can jump on the Zoom call and learn and join with them. So, you know, you're always more of an expert than the brand new team member. So you can do this. You can answer those questions on Zoom, and then just make sure your new team member follows up with any guests that they have attend. Okay. All right, we also want to make sure that we're sharing our scripts, okay? So I have a host coaching script and I have a party script, and I'm not afraid to share them with team members. Now, side note, you do have to tell them to personalize them a little bit. So, you know, I live in Florida now and everyone down here says y'all. It's just easier than saying you all, right? So anyway, my script might have the word y'all in it a few times, but when I lived in Connecticut, no one said y'all. There's no way that would have been in my script. So they've got to personalize their scripts a little bit, but it gives them confidence that they can take that and do a demo. And the other great thing is Norwex has a YouTube channel with videos. So you give them your scripts, they can then head to the Norwex YouTube channel and find the videos that they want if they're not comfortable making their own videos yet for a party. Okay? They can get going right away just because you shared those resources with them. All right, let's head to key area of focus number 4. All right, we want to lean into the tools available from Norwex. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. And I've been around, you know, just over 6 years. And when I joined, a lot of leaders remade resources because we just didn't have what we have now. Norwex has blessed us generously with so many different resources. And when I use the resources Norwex has given me, my new team member is then going to use them with their team members. But if I'm making all my own resources, they're going to feel like they have to make all of their own before they can add a team member. And we don't want that. So don't reinvent the wheel. Keep it simple. Okay. So the first resource I want to talk about is actually the resource. And this is a great website that Norwex has provided to everyone. It's not just for new team members, it's for all team members. But what you can do is you see that orange button right there that says, hey, new consultants, let's begin. Have your new team members say, hey, jump onto this website and click on that orange new button. Hey, let's new consultants begin, okay? The next resource that Norwex has given us is the new consultant welcome email. It's a great place, and I think there's a gem hidden in this email, and that is the new consultant checklist. So if a new team member is stuck, you can say, hey, go to your new consultant welcome email, dig out that new consultant checklist. Let's find one action item on there you can start working on right now, okay? So, you know, if someone's stuck, send them something that will give them another action step that they can take. New consultant text messages. So you see that green box, it says Norwex Coach Text. Norwex texts your new team members, and you can find a list of all the texts on the resource website. We're going to come back to this one in a little bit, but I wanted you to make sure that you knew that this resource was available. The Norwex FAQ document. So this is a document that helps answer any potential questions that someone may have about the business opportunity. So if you have a new team member and they're sharing Norwex and their friends want to learn about the business opportunity, they can just copy and paste, you know, this resource, new consultant FAQ, and send it to their potential new team members, okay? They don't need to make a different document. It's all right here on the resource. We already talked about there's product videos on YouTube. Photofy. I don't love making graphics. It just is a lot of work for me. But luckily, Norwex has blessed us with Photofy. And on Photofy, there's approved images, there's approved logos. So your new team member can jump on a Photofy, make invite images, make, you know, congratulation posts, makes before and after pictures, whatever they need, it's all there for them. They don't need to use a different tool and take their own pictures of products and things. It's all there from Norwex. All right, tech tips. For your consultant office, these are also on the resource, and they have 101 level and 201 level. So if someone's like, hey, I want to learn about my back office a little bit, or how do I close a party, or whatever their tech question might be, say, have you checked the tech tips? Is there a video on that? And they're short videos. But I had a new team member say to me recently, you know, I learned through seeing. So watching that video helped me understand it. She goes, and now all my questions are cleared up. So make sure you know there's tech tips on the resource. And then every other Tuesday, Debbie Bolton goes live to talk about the business opportunity in Norwex. So this is great not only for new team members, but for potential new team members. And try to make sure your new team member listens to at least one. It gives you a little bit of the heart of Norwex, and everyone loves hearing Debbie speak and share. And then we have new consultant chats, new consultant calls. Again, these new consultants can register from them. I believe, yes, they are in your welcome email. So to say to your new team member, hey, after you pull up that new consultant checklist, why don't you go and register for your new consultant calls? And this is just another chance for someone else to plug in and invest in your new team member besides yourself. All right, Norwex party cards. You might think that party cards are dead if you are not doing in-home demos, and that is not true. I was speaking to a new team member 2 weeks ago, and she's like, I took my party cards from my new consultant kit and used those as my script to make my videos for my online demo. It's like, brilliant. Okay, so those party cards are great for in-home demos. You can hold them and use them. Or if someone wants to make videos for their own online demos, they can use the scripts and the product information on the party cards. Those party cards address our Safe Haven 5 products. That's really what your new consultant needs. And the best thing about the party cards is they come in every new consultant kit. So if you teach your new team member to use them, he's going to teach their new team member to use them, okay? Norwex also has a Facebook consultant connection page where they put announcements, and so make sure your team member get plugs in there. And the Norwex Learning Network is a series of podcasts. You actually can subscribe to the Norwex Learning Network, and people can listen to these podcasts while they're working out, driving to work, grocery shopping, cooking dinner, whatever it might be. So if you're a new team member stuck or they want more training, say, hey, what podcast have you listened to recently on the Norwex Learning Network? And then, lastly, we have our Norwex News email, which comes out on the 1st of the month. Make sure your team members are always checking out the Norwex News. And then our Norwex Impressions email, which comes out on the 15th of the month. All right, Norwex has so many great tools. Don't reinvent that wheel. No. Lastly, we want to stay in contact with our new team members and build relationships. And you may disagree, but I feel this is probably one of the top key areas of focus. So building relationships really takes a personal touch, okay? And not everyone's going to be on the same Norwex journey, the same Norwex path. This is not a one-size-fits-all business. But it has always been, and it will continue to be a relationship business. And the key to building relationships is communication, but communication that elicits a response, okay? So I could text Jill and say, hey, Jill, how's your day going? Or I could say, hey, Jill, how's your day going? I know you were going to check out the resource website yesterday. What's one thing that you learned? Okay, so I'm trying to have a conversation with her. I am trying to build a relationship. And when you're in contact with a new team member, they're more likely to stay a consultant longer because they've built a relationship, right? I know many, many leaders and team members supplement their onboarding with an automated process. But for me, I've always felt strongly that I don't want to automate my onboarding. Now, it doesn't mean I don't do the same thing over and over or copy and paste sometimes, but like I said, everyone's on their own journey. So sometimes, what works for new consultant A may not work for new consultant B. And so I think when you automate, sometimes you forget that. We're in this era now of a digital, virtual Norwex business. And so we need to be a bit more intentional in regards to making personal connections. So You may have new team members you never meet in person, which is really weird for me. I used to meet most of my personals in person. So, the more you connect with them, the more I find they have team camaraderie and loyalty to your team and your business. So a couple ways to kind of connect with your new team members is we talked briefly about that green box of the Norwex coach text. Those are all available on the resource. So you can go and you can print the whole list of the Norwex text that they send out. And what you can do is you can complement the text message that Norwex sends out. So on day 2 of a new consultant journey, Norwex texts your new team member and introduces them to the resource website. So what you could choose to do is on on day 3, text your new team member and say, hey, hopefully you received your text message from Norwex yesterday about the resource website. Were you able to check out the website, and what was one thing that was valuable to you? Okay, so you don't need to text your new team member an hour after Norwex does. You want to be aware of what Norwex is texting and when, and you want to take advantage of what Norwex is saying and build off of it and use your time wisely. So I encourage you to find that list of text messages, print it off, put it online, however you like to do things, and then figure out when you can complement and how you can complement what Norwex is already doing, right? We're not reinventing the wheel. All right. Remember, this is a new job for your new team member. So when I joined Norwex, my sponsor, Deanna, said, you're starting a new job. And just like any new job, there's going to be a 30-day learning curve. And really, you're going to feel like you're learning new things constantly, but especially for the first 3 months, okay? So one thing that Norwex gives us to help us invest in our new team members for those first 3 months is the new consultant tracker. It used to be called the Fresh Start Tracker. That is right on your landing page for your consultant office. So when you pull that up, it's going to have any personal team member and any personal group member. You can use this as a guide for who you need to check in with and when. Make sure you're aware of when a goal is coming up. You can check in with the team member. It's also a way you can look and say, hey, I haven't heard from them in a while. Maybe I need to give them a call. Or, they were struggling with bookings. Maybe I should send them a text and encourage them to go clean 5 friends' windows this week. Okay, so take advantage of that new consultant tracker to help remember who is in their first 3 months with Norwex. And I'm not gonna lie, I check that probably almost every day because I want to keep those new consultants close. I want to make sure I'm investing in them and building those relationships. So make sure you're using that tracker. You don't need to find a different way to keep track of who's new. Norwex does it for you again. And I really believe it's worth the effort to personally check in regularly with team members. We want to invest in someone and have, that relationship stay around. We don't want to constantly be investing and having people leave. We want them to feel like Norwex is their home, okay? So just because you meet someone virtually, it doesn't mean you can't get to know them personally. So try something like, if you saw on Facebook that they have a new grandbaby, text them and say, hey, I just saw the picture of your new grandbaby. So cute. Tell me how excited you are to be a grandma, or whatever it might be. Ask them after their first, successful demo with Norwex, hey, what are you going to do with your new Norwex income? Or know when their first parties are and check in with them before and after. That way they know that you're there and you care for them and you want their success. And make sure you're offering these new team members phone calls and not just text. A lot of times new team members don't pick up my phone call, but you still want them to know that you're available and there for them. All right, and then we want to plug our new team members into our team resources. So team Zoom calls, team Facebook pages, team meetings, team retreats. However you build a relationship with your team, you want to make sure that new team member is getting plugged in there too. I think the most important thing is to remember that no 2 team members are the same, right? No one's on the same journey with Norwex. There is no trick with onboarding. The key is really being intentional and helping your new team members start strong. So let's remember these 5 key areas of focus, okay? We're gonna help our new team members set goals. we're going to be a role model with our personal business and how we interact with them. We're going to offer plug-in opportunities, shadowing opportunities. We're going to help these new team members get going from day one. We're going to lean into tools available. We're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to use the amazing resources that Norwex supplies us. And then we're going to stay in contact and build relationships with our new team members. This has been and will always be a relationship business. That's been said to me so many times, and I will never forget that. Above all the amazing tools and resources and Facebook parties and meetings, this is a relationship business, and people need relationships, okay? With anything else, there is room for improvement and tweaking. And at the end of the day, we're working with humans, so there's really not a script for onboarding. But we want to keep our onboarding simple. I have always believed in simple. And we want to walk alongside new team members, and we want to help our new team members towards early success. So thank you guys for joining our conference workshop today. Hopefully you have a few takeaways, and here's to a great new fiscal year and new trip earning year with Norwex. Bye, guys.
Hey, oh my gosh, Krista, I loved that. Thank you so much. And I know our panelists really appreciated all your great inspiration and information. There were lots and lots of comments coming in. So we would just like to ask for anybody that hasn't dropped a question in the chat, if you have another question, feel free to do that. And we have a few minutes to answer a few of those questions. But in the meantime, I would love everyone to grab your pen and jot down 3 big takeaways from Krista's session today. So just putting it all together. Number 1, build relationships by staying in contact with your new consultants. So build those relationships. Number 2, help them to set goals by asking questions. I love that, Krista, because it's really all about your new consultant, right? Not about what we're hoping they do. And number 3, keep it simple by using the resources that are available. So excellent, use those resources. So let's go ahead and get started with our first question, if you would, Krista. So we had a question about the goal conversation that you mentioned that you have with the new consultant. And the question was, do you hold that conversation with them before they join or right away after they join? Because the consultant was concerned about overwhelming that new person.
Yeah, I mean, overwhelming is definitely a real fear, right? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for a lot of these things. Sometimes their goal comes up right at the beginning, right? Like, I'm going to pay for Susie's ballet lessons, and that's out there front and center, or I want to get all these products for free. If someone, when I joined, I didn't really have a goal except I was going to earn my kit for free. So I think if the goal doesn't come out right at the beginning, then start with that. Okay, we're going to hit your 400, and then we're going to hit your 1,000, and then let's talk about next steps. So that's a great way to not overwhelm them, is to take those goals that Norwex is handing you and say, let's start with 400. Okay, now let's start with the kit for free, and then take it from there. So yeah, you don't want to overwhelm them and say, okay, you're going to hold 5 parties today because that's your goal. We're going to start small, and then work into those goals. Yep.
Excellent. So along that same line of new consultants, are you helping each new consultant walk through those first steps, like how to set up a party and so on, or do you direct them to the resources for those kinds of things?
So we used to have to, because Norwex didn't give us those resources. If you're not familiar, Norwex has put new things on the resource site. It's Tech Tips 101 and Tech Tips 201. And I was actually looking at this before our training because someone was asking me a tech question. And there's things there like how to make your shopping link, how to place an order that gets shipped right away without closing a party. So if those questions you're getting asked repeatedly, I suggest you take some time on the resource website and find those, 30-second, 2-minute videos. And then, you're not having to answer it, you can just copy and paste the link. So, 6 months ago, I would have said I do that all with everyone, but Norwex has really upped their game. And now I'm going to the resource first and seeing if there's a link there that I can then send to someone. So, yep.
And that really falls in line with your one of your 5 points about making sure that you can be duplicated by your consultants, right? So
yeah.
Using those resources.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So do you train your new consultants who don't want to necessarily do parties the same way that you train those that do want to work the business?
I think everyone deserves the same opportunity. You will get people who never respond to you, right? So you can't, you know, what they say, like lead a horse to water, a camel, whatever it is. Like you can't make them do it, but I think you still offer to have them do a first party. You still let them know about their steps and their free kits, and you know they'll make it pretty clear, you know, if they want to do it or not. And I find sometimes people say they just want a discount because they're scared, right? Like it's easier to not fail than to set a goal and not reach it, right? So if they say I want to earn $500 a month, and they've put it out there, but if they said they want a discount, they don't have that fear. So treat them all the same and they'll kind of, you know, show you what they really mean.
So do you have any tips, Krista, on what if that new consultant doesn't respond to you? Do you have so many times that you keep reaching back around, or do you bless and release after 3 times, or what do you recommend?
I think as long as you feel like you've done your job, that's all you can do. I do try to reach out to most of my personals, probably once every month or once every 4 to 6 weeks, just to let them know I'm still around. Because you know, some people on our team started partying in April who have never partied before. You know, they barely stayed active before. So you never know when life's going to change for someone, and you want to keep that line of communication open. Unless they say never talk to me again, then yeah, what are you gonna do? So.
Right. And sometimes that does change, right, as time goes on. So good to keep the communication open. That's really smart. So when you do your multi-host Facebook parties and you invite your new consultants to participate, do you allow them to come back more than one time and participate, or do they just get to do it on their first time around, kind of to launch, or what do you recommend there?
So personally, they can join one of my personal parties once. And then after that, we're doing the mega party once a month for the team. So then they can join a team party after that.
So they do have the resource that they can keep on bringing
Yep.
guests to,
Yep.
just looks a little different.
And they can always go back to that event and use it as a training tool too. If they don't feel like they're confident, they can see what happened and, you know, copy and paste and edit. So.
Excellent. Another question coming in, what verbiage do you use to explain the qualifications to a potential recruit?
So it's $9.99 plus tax depending on where you live to join, and that's to cover the shipping of your new kit. And then Norwex gives you 3 months to earn that kit for free. If you not, you pay $200 to cover the value of the kit, which is actually valued larger than $200. Simple, right? Like I think sometimes we like make it more complicated in our head, but that's really it is. You get 3 months, you earn it for free. You don't, you pay $200, you get more than $200 in a kit. So I do usually say, you know, you do earn 35% commission from day one, because a lot of people think they have to get that kit for free before they can earn income. So
perfect. So another question we had, kind of shifting gears a little bit, about the team training and all those different types of events that you were talking about. What is your recommendation as far as what leadership level would someone want to start holding those types of events for their teams?
You can hold a team meeting with 3 team members, right? You can meet at a local restaurant and have coffee. So I think as soon as you see that need for a team meeting, do it. I was a TC when I had my first team meeting. I had no idea what I was doing. As far as like a multi-team party, you can do that with 3 people, right? You hold a multi-host party with 3 people. So it's really no different. I have, you know, a team member I was talking to, she's like, yeah, my team member and I are gonna do a party together. So you can do it with 2 people. So if you wait until you're a certain level to instill those things, then you're gonna be overwhelmed and it's gonna seem like a lot. But if you make them part of your routine now, it shouldn't be as overwhelming, so.
That's excellent. And then do you do that same type of thing, or would you recommend like the multi host or the team Facebook party, if you want to call it that? Do you recommend like partnering with other young leaders to pull something?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Teams, or?
Yeah, I mean, if you've made a friend, maybe you met someone at a conference, or you know, you've seen someone on your team page or whatever, you can absolutely partner up, right? So there's no reason you do anything on your own.
Fantastic. Love that. So just a couple of kind of updates and reminders. There was a lot of questions about the Fresh Start Tracker. And it is our understanding at the moment it's pulled down because it's being updated with the changes coming up. So we anticipate that it will be back up soon. So don't panic. It hasn't disappeared forever and it didn't just disappear on you. So just hang in there, right? More to come on that. And I think we have covered all of our questions. Let me just take a look. Krista, anything else you wanted to add here?
So you can still find the Fresh Start Tracker when you're on your site on the top. So by like the shopping spree icon, it's Fresh Start Tracker. So even though it's not front and center on your dashboard right this minute, it's going to be back, but you can still access it.
All right, one more came in. How do you help a new consultant who has had their first party totally flop? Oh, good one.
So when I joined, I lived in Connecticut and we had a blizzard. So my second party, only the host was there. And right, I always said, well, I can never have a party worse than this one, right? So just tell them you got your worst party out of the way. Congratulations, you did it early. And do another party.
Right. And it's only up from there, right?
Right. Like if you have a party with 0 sales, it cannot go worse. So
like Debbie's selling one Spirinette, right? I mean,
every leader's had a horrible party, I'm telling you. So
it's a great story to tell later, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So another one just came in. What do you do, or how do you manage or support a new consultant that perhaps isn't really thinking they're ready to build, but they have people on their team or, you know, people they know that want to sign up with them, want to become a new consultant with that new consultant?
I think it's easier to add team members when you're new because, you know, you learn how to make a party link. You say, hey, I just learned how to make a party link. Here you go. So sometimes, you know, being in this a little while, I forget people don't know simple things that I learned when I started. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot. You don't instinctively know how to do that already. So just tell them, you know, bring them on with you. And when you learn, they learn. You know, they don't have to be an expert. And if they wait to be an expert to add team members, then it's going to be this awkward thing. Like, well, I never shared the business before, but now I'm going to, and it feels awkward. And just make it part of what you do from day one. And, you know, we hold parties, we share the business. So just that's part of what we do. And you're there to support them, or a leader is there to support them if they get stuck. So
right. And I anticipate you're rolling them in, you know, right, as part of what you're offering that new consultant who recruited yep. them. So they're kind of rolled in with their recruiter, if you will, to participate in the mega party for the team and all, you know, the team meetings and all those other things. So they're kind of just coming along for the ride with their recruiter.
Yeah, I had no idea I had my first team member. I'm like, well, every email I get, I'll just forward to you. Like, I don't know. Like, so.
Right. I think it's just, and that's probably a good thing to know, and just let consultants know that, hey, if you find a friend who wants to come on board with you, don't worry, we'll train you all together. It's okay. You know, the team will help.
Yeah. I mean, how much more easy to duplicate can you be than that, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. Well, I think we are about ready to wrap it up. Just a couple of announcements. So I do want to say thank you so much again to Krista for her wisdom, her time, her passion. And she is obviously super successful and very generous in sharing of her wisdom. So thank you, Krista. So kind of you to do that. And then I would want to ask, though, everyone as a reminder, if you would please respect Krista's time and not message her privately if you think of another question. So instead, we would encourage you to connect with your upline, to check your team Facebook page, to check Consultant Connection, and then also, of course, your regional sales managers are available to help you too. So we don't want to bombard her with a lot of questions because, of course, she is working to support her team and build her business just like you. So also exciting news, all new conference attendees, or not new conference, national conference attendees will be receiving a workshop recap email coming out today. And that is going to include all the slides from all 5 sessions, all of the recordings, as well as links to any documents or any information that was shared on any of the 5 workshops that were held this week. So if you missed any, or you want to catch the replay, or you want to take a look at the slides, all of that's going to be coming out today to all of our national conference attendees. So thank you again to you, Krista. Appreciate you and your time. Thank you to our helpers from home office, Susan, Hillary, and Shirley. It's been fantastic being with all of you today, and we wish you all continued success. So thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.